Coming up on this brand new episode of Don't Panic, we've got technology news including tech for your eyeballs, including the launch of HoloLens and HTC Vive. We also talk about Microsoft ending its bridge to Android. We've got some confusing new iPads, and someone's dicking around with our Leafs. You got to hear it all on this upcoming episode of Don't Panic. This is Don't Panic, episode number 123, recorded February 29th, 2016. On Dead Leafs, Vive alive, and a bridge too far. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this episode of Don't Panic, the technology podcast that went on with its acceptance speech so long the orchestra had to play us off. I'm Sean Jennings, joined by the Edith Head and Walt Disney of technology. These two men walk away with the golden statuette. It is Dan Miller and Colby Rabideau. Gentlemen,
Hey.
What's the scoop?
Not too much. I watched the Oscars last night. It was weird.
Was it?
Oh, yeah.
I think so I don't know if you guys have observed this phenomenon, but like many times like HD, having things in HD makes them too real. And so it's like watching people walk down the red carpet was not spectacular. It was just like people walking out of limousines and into a hotel. It's like no longer feels like far away or distant. It's just like very regular. Sure, they're wearing nice clothes, but like it's very regular. I thought it was a little bizarre.
Now, did you watch what I like about, and I don't really watch the red carpet because I agree it's horrifically boring. But
Yeah.
if you've ever watched E's coverage, they do all this super gimmicky stuff with camera technology. Like they have this thing, it's like the Dress Cam 3000. You want to get these ideas, and it's a
Like the dice cam.
and
Is that where you got the dice cam 3000?
And so they have a camera on a stick that's on the ground, and then just pulls up at a regular speed, so you can see their dress from top to bottom. And then they have the shoe cam, where you put your shoe in front of it, and then they cut to it, and it shows what shoes you're wearing. And they have the nail cam, where you put your hand in a box, and there's a camera in there, and they show what nails you're wearing.
It's like getting taken down to the station and processed for a crime.
Oh my god, they've got so many camera gimmicks. It's crazy. And it's kind of entertaining to watch. That I will give them credit for, because it is really, really gimmicky.
I was just watching the ABC coverage or whatever. It wasn't. It was. I mean, it was gimmicky, I guess, but not that gimmicky.
No, that was another level. Yes, our opening was a reference to the two most Academy Award-winning individuals in cinema: Walt Disney, who won 22 Oscars, the most by a male, and Edith Head, a costume designer, who won 8, the most for a female. There you go. Walt Disney also holds the records for most Oscars won in a single year, when he won 4 in 1954.
Wow, that's a lot of Oscars.
Yeah, if you're looking for something entertaining to read, go to the Wikipedia page for a list of Academy Award records. It's kind of fascinating.
And although Mad Max didn't win any of the big ones, they did win the most.
That's right. All the real technical ones.
Yeah.
They got like 3 or 4, right?
Yeah, they did pretty well. Spotlight, by the way, who won Best Picture,
Which I've never even heard of.
It's supposed to be really good.
Yeah, never heard of it. I heard about The Revenant. I heard about Room, Bridge of Spies.
Maybe I only heard of Spotlight because I live in Boston.
That's true.
Is that a Boston movie?
Yeah, so it's about the like Boston Globe reporters who broke the like priest sex.
Oh, I had heard about this movie. I just didn't know that it was called Spotlight.
Mm-hmm.
Or movie, not story.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Spotlight, interestingly enough, the first movie since the 50s to win Best Picture and only one other award.
Oh,
which it won for screenplay, I think.
Yeah, I think it was Best Original Screenplay.
Yes, it was. Yes, because The Big Short was Best Adapted.
Correct.
Given to Adam McKay, who co-wrote Anchorman and a number of Will Ferrell comedies.
Interesting.
So, yeah, that was a thing to watch.
Fascinating evening.
It was kind of funny too, because talk about getting sucked in. I didn't want to watch it because I didn't see any of the movies. I really didn't care. My plan was to just read who won. But then I was on Twitter and people were tweeting about it, and I'm like, well, shit. I kind of gotta know what's going on.
Yeah. I have a question. Have you guys seen The Revenant?
No,
No.
no.
It like is not appealing to me at all.
That's what I.
Like
Yes.
maybe I just don't understand. Also, I mean, like, I guess I'm glad Leonardo DiCaprio won. Like, he's been nominated 6 times or whatever. That seems great. But like, is that really like of all the great movies he's been in? Like, is that his best job?
Well,
I don't know. Maybe it is, but
the only thing I can say about it is, and this is to me an indicator of quality, is my mother, okay, whose favorite kind of movies are like Katherine Heigl romantic comedies, like Lifetime movie of the week. She saw The Revenant and thought it was amazing. So
Really?
if she can see it and really enjoy it,
gotcha. Huh?
that to me says I think it's got to at least have some appeal. I agree, just
Yeah.
from the topic and the trailers, and like not at all a movie I'd want to see, but
Yeah, I mean, not. I don't know. Like, I feel like one day I'll probably watch it and enjoy it. Like, it's that kind of movie that like I'd watch on HBO or something, but not that I would go see. But maybe I'm just not like sophisticated enough to. I guess I didn't see most of. I haven't seen Spotlight or The Room or Brooklyn or like any of the movies that were on there. So maybe that's what it is. I'm just not sophisticated.
yeah. I will say
Give myself too much credit.
I am excited to see some of these movies when they start coming out on digital and Netflix and all that sort of stuff. I think it was a decent crop of films. Now, were you guys at all bummed to see Star Wars not really nominated for anything?
Yeah,
Or no? Do you think that was fair?
Was it? It was nominated for some stuff, right?
It was like the two sound mixing and sound editing, and then like one visual. I think it was 3 awards total they were nominated for, but none of the.
I mean,
none of the acting, directing, writing.
I guess it's not really like Oscar-y. Like, I don't know. I think like the visuals and stuff were all good, but like it's a tough year for that with Mad Max in the running. Like, I mean I think they were like the rightful winners of all the technical awards that they won. I don't know. Like, I guess it's fair. Star Wars was good. Like, I liked it. It was enjoyable, but I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, never mind. They also got nominated for music.
Yeah, right.
Best original score.
Yeah, the only categories I would have seen nominations in are Best Director for Abrams. Maybe Best Picture, only because they do up to 10, and I don't know why. I could guarantee, I could have told you it wasn't going to win, but I still think it could have been nominated. Right. And in terms of acting, I think the acting was so strong in the other movies they wouldn't have won. Except, get this, I would have done Harrison Ford supporting actor.
Oh.
Because I think he would have won from the gimmick alone. Just because he's the old guy who's been around for so long, and
don't worry, I got the screenshot.
Oh no, hang on, my internet. Oh no. No. Hang on, can you guys hear me? Fuck, this never works. Oh shit. All right, hang on, folks. We're gonna get these gentlemen back here in a minute. Once my internet kicks back on, hopefully, really soon. Oh no, it's not coming back on. All right. Hello?
Yo.
You got to turn your video back on.
I know.
My internet did that thing again where it just drops out for no reason. I've really got to figure out why it's doing that.
Yeah.
Come on, open. Damn you. All right. Well, we're still trying to work on D-Mills.
Yeah.
The Miller Express. Very annoying.
Computers.
I know. I do like the freeze frames.
Dan and I uploaded the same picture.
That's
I put it in Don't Panic.
You guys are so funny. That's I think gonna be my new profile picture right there. All right, well we'll give him a minute to see if he can come back here. But in the meantime,
Yep.
okay. Now, while we're working on Dan, Colby,
Mm-hmm.
up next we would hypothetically have tech news. That's how we roll here. Now, we've got a few stories in the rundown. Before we get to them, you can think about which one you want to talk about first. While we're waiting for Dan to get back on the phone, I will remind everyone at home about this show. Don'tPanic.io is our website. It would be good if you went there because we have all of our past episodes, audio, video, and all our picks for every episode are up on that fantastic website, Don'tPanic.io. And, of course, all the links there to follow and subscribe on the various services. Colby, do you know all the places you can subscribe to this show?
I'm not sure. Can I try?
You go for it, and we'll see how many you can get.
Okay, so RSS, just
Yeah,
plain
of
old
course.
RSS.
That works with everything.
iTunes, Stitcher,
Yeah.
random podcast apps of your choice.
Yeah.
Twitch TV.
Yeah.
YouTube, Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah.
Do we have an Instagram?
Not yet.
Oh man, we're not legit.
Not yet. No, we're missing that. No, and I think the only one you missed was Google Play Music, which we're
oh yeah, I would have
also
totally forgotten about that.
as well. So very good, very good. You get a little round of applause for that.
Thanks, appreciate it. I'm subscribed to Don't Panic on all of those things.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's good. It counts towards our subscriber numbers we don't track every time you do that.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't subscribe to any. I don't subscribe to Don't Panic at all because I'm here for the whole thing.
You're not missing anything because you're on
Yeah, it always seemed a little redundant.
That's probably
to subscribe
okay.
to my own show.
Now, Colby, while we're waiting for Dan, a quick question. Sin Unlimited on Twitch asks, real question here is how does Colby always have such luscious locks? Do you have anything you'd like to say?
I think it's just like genetic, really. I don't do anything special. This is not the first time someone has commented on my hair. Fun story. While we're on this topic, one time Dan and I in college were in New York City, and we were like leaving New York City. We were walking into Penn Station, and like walking through the door, this guy asked us if we had a cigarette. And I was like, nah, man, I don't smoke. And he was like, well, you're an asshole, but you got nice hair. It's really weird.
Oh, man, Colby, we're going to have that put on your tombstone. Here lies Colby Rabidou. He may be an asshole, but he has really great hair. I love it. See, this is what's great. We do and that's the other place, too. You mentioned you can subscribe. You can also watch us live Monday nights, roughly 10 p.m. Eastern, on twitch.tv. And if you comment, we'll talk about you on the show while we're waiting for Dan to call in. And while we're waiting for Dan to call in, let's get to the bulk of the reason here. We're not gonna can't wait forever. We're already 15 minutes in. So Colby, what on here is the first story you would like to talk about?
Facebook like buttons.
Facebook like buttons, absolutely. You can't. The beauty is, Colby, now not only can you like things, but you can react to them. Facebook this week rolled out reaction buttons that they call to your news feed. They should be coming soon. I have them. I don't know, Colby. Do you have them yet? Have you looked?
I have them, yeah.
Yeah, I think most people do. You'll see them in the mobile app, on the website. They're pretty easy to use. In addition to like, you now have 5 additional reactions to things people do on Facebook, including love, haha, wow, sad, and angry. Basically all the human emotions. And then it shows next to the post how many ha-has or likes or whatever it's received. It's launching on iOS, Android, and the web as well. And so I'll put a little picture up here on the screen for the folks at home to see what that looks like if you don't have it. Colby, have you sadded anything? I don't know what the verb is.
I haven't
Reacted?
sadded anything. I did a haha once. I don't know. I think it's cool though. It's like Instagram, but it's like Slack, but less fun. I don't know. It makes sense though. It's like is weirdly generic and not applicable. Dan says so. Wow.
Where'd
just put me on hold like that?
No, I don't, because Dan tried to call me.
Oh.
And then I tried to merge the calls, and it didn't work. Then he's saying, "Are you there?" So hang on. We're gonna try and get Dan Miller back on the line.
Computers are hard.
Okay, now he's calling. Add to group call. Dan.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh, fuck happened?
I have absolutely no idea.
The fuck indeed.
That's weird. That's weird stuff. But you're back, and which is good. We talked while you were gone. We talked about Colby's luscious locks.
Yeah. Somebody commented in the chat
kind of an
room.
asshole. Oh.
Well, somebody commented in the chat, asked, like how I don't know. I don't remember what he said, or he or she said. But then I told this story about that guy outside of Penn Station.
Yep, that's a story emblematic of Penn Station.
Yeah, I think it's also the canonical Colby's hair story as well.
I don't know that many other Colby hair stories though.
No, me either.
Except maybe this will be one.
I mean, this is like version 2.
Universally acclaimed hair of Colby Rabideau.
That's right.
Critically acclaimed.
It is something that's been commented on before by like random people in random situations. I don't know.
There you go.
I don't know if that's good or bad. It's a thing that...
And then after Colby's hair, we moved on, Dan, to talk about Facebook reactions.
Oh, yeah.
You can ha-ha, be sad or angry, or post all kinds of things. Have you used these, Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, what do you think?
Fun. They're fun. They're not world-changing. But, like, I don't need them to be.
Now,
they don't harm me.
Well, see, I went to start using them, right? Because I saw them, I was like, oh, that's cool. But then I'm like, I am way too uncommitted to things to love or be angry. Like, I feel like that's too extreme. And I felt very like I'll be judged, and like it puts too hard of a stamp on things.
No,
I feel like that's good, right? Like that's what they're for. Like you wouldn't use them until you felt like actually very strongly enough about something to use them. Like there's no point if like the love button becomes a new like button, then it doesn't matter. But like, I don't know. I feel like most things on Facebook, like I'm saying like too many times and it's bothering me.
Are you paid by the like?
The like button is sufficient for what you know. It's like an acknowledgement of like, huh,
that's what I liked about it.
I consumed this.
It's universal. It is
Yeah.
binary. Whereas this is too
but
much.
the like is still universal.
Yeah.
It's still like super low commitment.
Is I'll probably never use like haha I used and like wow and maybe even but like angry is like what would you even post? It'd be like, your friends vote for Bernie Sanders and you're like angry. I don't
No. When we posted our status about getting held hostage at the Buffalo Wild Wings, that would have been the perfect opportunity to use the angry reaction.
Yeah.
Indeed.
I guess maybe an opportunity hasn't arisen.
So, and when someone posts like a relationship status or like engagement pictures, that's a good opportunity.
You go ha when they break up. Lots of room for failure.
Yeah. But it's less of I love this and more of a I'm putting a heart onto this thing.
I'm
That's
gonna go.
legit.
I'm gonna go find something to react to on Facebook right now.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to. I'm looking on my Facebook too. All right, there's a post by. Oh, so here. No, I don't want to. Man, I've got a lot of shitty friends on Facebook. Not you guys though. Other people. See, this is why I don't. All right, so here's a post about a Lamborghini,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna wow it.
Wow.
And you can see, so it says here, 1,600 people have liked it, 136 people have wowed it, 135 people have loved it, one person has angried it. I don't know what value that adds.
Does it take away value though? Like,
No, I guess not.
you know?
It's just every time Facebook rolls something out, I want to hate it. But I guess you're right. This is pretty bland for a new Facebook feature.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't get any simpler.
It doesn't intrude either. Like you're free to continue pressing the like button as you always did.
I'm gonna like the post that we're live. You know what? I'm gonna love the post now that we're live on Twitch. Love it.
I'm gonna get angry at it.
Yeah. Well, I loved it as Don't Panic, and I'm gonna be sad as Sean Jennings because nobody should have to watch this dribble. Sin Unlimited on Twitch says, "Great time to use the sad face when your crush gets engaged."
That's true.
I like that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, how should I react to this story that someone shared that a fellow Marist alumnus, Bill O'Reilly, has lost custody of his kids in a unanimous court decision?
Ooh, see, now that's controversial, right? Because you could be sad or it could be ha-ha.
It could be angry. I'm really like, I feel like there's justice was not served in this case.
I don't know.
I think the ha-ha, or wow. No,
wow. Well, wow's kind of universal, right? Because you're not saying whether you like it or you hate it. It's just you're surprised.
Yeah.
You can't be accused of being a dick when you just wow something. I hope.
You heard it here first.
So this is a total tangent, but my favorite part about Facebook for the last month is like those 30-second like food recipe videos. I love them. I can't get enough of them. I could watch them for days on end.
I dislike them.
Angry.
And honestly, you know the worst part about it is that like if they hadn't done the autoplay video things, I never ever would have watched one. Ever.
I haven't seen these. Where do you see these? Is it something
you can get? There's
to?
like a BuzzFeed food. I have a couple people like that I'm friends with like the things. And I don't know, they just show up in my feed once in a while. But I started following BuzzFeed food.
That's cool.
So now, whenever I'm bored on the T, that's what I do. I just look at those.
You just watch the videos? That's kind of cool.
Yeah. It's amusing.
Yeah. I don't know if this will make me use Facebook more, but it doesn't make me dislike it less. So, okay, guys, how about this? What is your reaction to this announcement?
To which one?
To the fact that Facebook now has these reactions.
I like it, right?
You like it.
It's worth noting.
Yeah. You don't love it, but you like it.
Yeah. I was pretty surprised that they did it. Because it seemed like it wasn't a thing they were going to do for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
It doesn't
has been talked about for so long.
Yeah, I like how in the announcement post they explicitly call out the fact that everyone's been asking for a dislike button, and this isn't that.
But as close as you're going to get.
Yeah. But I feel like this is, I don't know, like this is the best kind of like doing something the users want, where like you usually don't want to do exactly what the users want, because they not that they know what they want to do, but like you kind of have to read into what is actually a good solution to the problem, and it's not usually the I don't know, the first thing that comes to mind.
Hey, I personally think this is better than when Twitter changed it from favorites to likes. So
No, that made a lot of sense. You didn't like that?
because it didn't. At least this adds functionality. All that did was
Yeah.
just change stars to hearts.
Yeah, but one of the big theories about Twitter is no one knows how to use it. Like, well,
You can't figure
favoriting.
out how favorites work. They've been in your browser for decades.
No one uses bookmarks, Sean.
I use bookmarks, Dan.
Get out.
I got hundreds of bookmarks. I got a
Jeez.
bookmarks bar.
You gotta transfer. It's all in the cloud now, I
Yeah,
guess.
Google syncs them. It's great.
Remember back in the day, you had to export your bookmarks and back them up.
I do.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Back in the day.
I wonder how many bookmarks I have in Pinboard.
Now a lot of mine are old, but I love my bookmarks bar because it's good shortcuts. Colby, what's your reaction to this? You want to pick one of the 6?
I think I would consider the WoW face because it's kind of exciting. I mean, it's cool and it's like it's a thing that's been talked about in one way or another for mostly as long as I can remember, I think.
And it's finally here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it the haha. The haha because I think it's funny. I think it's funny. People are gonna be like liking things and be angry at things and sad at things. It's gonna be fun. Seeing what people are saying. So,
Nice.
Cool. Look for that on a Facebook near you. Let's continue on with some other stories here, guys. In the rundown, we've got some good ones, but you can only pick one. Which will it be?
It's Dan's turn now.
It's my turn.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Yeah, I know.
HoloLens. It's happening.
HoloLens. It's here. Now I remember. Let's see if you guys probably remember when the Google Glass first came out.
Yeah.
We had a little question amongst ourselves: who would be the person to plunk down the $1,000, $1,500
Yeah.
for Google Glass? So let me ask either of you gentlemen: are you planning on plunking down $3,000 for a HoloLens developer kit?
No.
No, you can take your time. You don't have to answer right away. Really. Pace yourself.
No, I'm not. I just giggle at the thought of people wearing this around. It's so big.
They won't be wearing it around though, right? That's the difference. It'll
I
be
see. It's like an at-home in the office thing only.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, but wasn't there the guy wearing the Galaxy VR headset on the subway that blocks your eyes? I specifically remember that image, so you'll see somebody wearing the soundabout. You shouldn't,
Yeah.
but
It'll definitely happen.
Oh,
by the way,
see, I feel like they at least won't have the problem Google Glass had where like you'll look like a jerk. Instead, you'll just look ridiculous. Like
it's not
completely
douchey,
comical.
it's just dumb.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, so the story here, the device, the HoloLens, we've talked about it on the show before, is now available for pre-order. $3,000 to get your development kit. They will begin shipping to the US and Canada starting March 30th, so developers can build applications and games and such for the device. In addition, they announced some hardware specs for the HoloLens, what's inside of it. I'll read through a little bit of it here. It's got Windows 10. It's running. It's got their holographic processing unit, which sounds like it's from, some ridiculous, 70s sci-fi movie. And an Intel processor. It's got a variety of sensors, including inertial measurement units, an ambient light sensor, and 4 environment understanding cameras. There's also a depth sensing camera and a 2-megapixel HD camera to capture photos and videos. 4 microphones inside the headset to pick up voice commands. There's also 2 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of flash storage, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi connectivity. The whole thing weighs no more than 579 grams, and the batteries will run for around 2 to 3 hours of active use, though it will work when plugged in over micro USB with a standby time of 2 weeks.
So it's like a full computer, right? It's like standalone
100%.
computer on your head.
Yep.
I wonder if it gets really hot.
That would be bad.
It would be.
I'm going to put that out there. That's not good.
Hopefully they had the forethought to make the put the heat sink on like the outside and not the inside. I'm sure they would though.
I like to imagine someone wearing it with like a sweatband over it.
Mm-hmm.
Really staying cool.
So
yeah, it's exciting.
We didn't talk about that picture of Mark Zuckerberg walking down the conference floor with all the people with their Oculus Rifts on
No,
or
we didn't get the
whatever?
chance to.
So what was the deal with that? Like, cause I saw it and I was like, wow. I saw it like when Mark Zuckerberg posted it on Facebook and I was like, that is not the picture I'd have chosen to like, hey, check it out, I was in Barcelona, totally do not fear the Skynet is coming. This is all fine. You picked that picture to represent like your speaking slot at this conference, and then there are all these stories about how they're like, oh, it's not the dystopian future that you're led to believe it is, but I never read them, so I don't know what the deal was with that picture.
Yeah, so the very briefly, the scoop of the picture was just that Zuckerberg went on stage for Samsung's announcement at Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, and part of Samsung's big gimmick was that you could, which was confusing to me, but you could watch the announcement you were physically at in virtual reality while you were there.
That's what I thought it was.
Yes.
That's so stupid.
It is, and under all the seats they had the headsets, and so you could put it on, and I guess it was like an enhanced experience. Now, I don't know what you actually saw. I have to assume it was, like I said, an enhanced thing where there was stuff going on around you while you were watching it.
Maybe it would be. Well, yeah. No, there's no good reason for that. It was remember, I don't know, maybe this has been every year, but when the White House streams the State of the Unions, and they have they have these like sidebars, like synced up with what the president's saying, with like facts and figures or just funny pictures sometimes. That's really good. Like that is a much more effective. That's what C-SPAN should be all the time. Get rid of these stupid flip charts. They use flip charts.
They do.
My God.
They're
Anyways,
keeping Kinkos in business.
but you don't need virtual reality for that if you're there in person, because you just look up at the TV screen to your left or something. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So it was a dystopian future that we're all afraid of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh my God. So do you think that we'll ever like get on the subway or the train, or you'll be like driving down the highway, you'll look over and in the passenger seat there's this person wired up into a headset? Is this ever going to be an acceptable thing to do in public? Similar, like on the HoloLens topic, would you ever take your HoloLens to the park and do some work to the coffee shop? Would you ever do that?
Well, I should recuse myself because Dan, I don't just think that won't happen in public. I don't think that'll happen in private, and I genuinely believe virtual reality is what Zeppelins were to transportation in the 30s, where everyone thought it was the future, and it turns out it's ridiculous in hindsight. So, flying cars or jetpacks or...
Do you think it's going to be supplanted by something else? Because that's what happens with those things. Like, the Zeppelins, it was supposed to be great, but then, like, airplanes got a lot better.
Yeah. Well, Zeppelins also got really explodey too, didn't they? Like...
That's what I mean. Airplanes proved to be less explodey than Zeppelins,
which is good and has served mankind. I agree. I think that's a good parallel because I think the delivery method is what's going to be different. I don't think screens attached to your eyeballs in that manner is what the future is. I don't know what the future is, but I'm not buying that that's it. I personally like the Google Glass model or the smart wearable devices model more than the screens take over your whole eyeballs model. But that's, you know how horrible I am at predictions. If you've ever seen any part of this show, in no way should you be surprised. So you just wait until it becomes the biggest piece of technology in 5 years, and I look like a moron sitting without I'll be the one guy without it.
Sean's sitting alone. Well, everyone else is sitting alone.
Where'd everyone
go? What about for just like the niche market of gaming?
Yes, niche markets, absolutely. But there's a lot of technologies like that. I agree. I think gaming is an excellent use for it, and I think maybe medical uses, and I think there are a lot of specific uses. But like this picture as the example of everyone has one on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little skeptical. I don't know, Colby. What do you think? Will it be acceptable to do this in public?
To wear like a a virtual reality goggle.
Yeah,
Not like walking
I
around,
hope-
but at the coffee shop.
like a park
Sit
bench.
down. Or yeah, park night. Yeah,
That's a little weird.
I mean,
Yeah.
maybe, but I feel like we're doing so gives anyone license to mess with you, like anyone just walking by, and you'll never know.
the new federal
Uh,
law.
Don't poke people while they're VRing.
No,
Well, I
poke
feel like
people
it's
for
it's
VRing.
like
It's
in
the only
college
time
if you
poke them.
if you fall asleep with your shoes on or whatever, people can write on your face, right? It's like a dumb rule, but
Wait, with your
that's
shoes
When was
on?
this a thing?
I don't know. It was something.
Hope you didn't do that to
I
me.
don't
I don't
remember what it
remember
was.
that.
Nobody did. We weren't cool enough. I think this
That's
was a
right.
cool
We were
kids
pretty
party
lame.
thing. It's definitely something I heard though. Maybe it wasn't a real thing and just something people said, or if it was like from a movie or something. But I think it's about the same. Like, the idea being like you were so messed up that you just passed out with your shoes on, and so like, you did this to yourself, sort of thing. I think it's the same with wearing VR goggles in public. Like, you're asking for it. Be present. I can't wait till we have this like while people are driving.
That
While
that
they're
sucks.
driving?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Can't
do
you
like a
imagine like the
picture
car
thing?
has like a feed into your visor, so like you can drive your car in virtual reality.
But wait, so you would sit at home and drive your car in virtual
No,
reality?
no, you'd be in the car. You'd just be driving through virtual reality.
That doesn't make
I
any
bet it'll
sense.
happen.
That's actually not a bad idea because a lot of people have cars and not many people have like steering wheel peripherals for their game stuff. It's not the worst idea.
Fair.
All right.
I don't get it. I don't get it. This is weird. I don't get
Yes, it is weird. I can't. I have trouble imagining how like this will find widespread popularity.
it. But that's what I like about HoloLens. Is because it's self-contained. It is see-through. So it's not really virtual reality, it's augmented reality.
Right.
Similar to Google Glass. That model makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah, yeah. I think you have a point there. At least like immediate future. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not.
Or we'll have
giving
both,
it
but
credit, but yeah.
now one other thing I want to mention, and our favorite chatter on Twitch, Sin Unlimited, brought up our next story for us, already in the rundown. HTC releasing their virtual reality headset, the Vive. The HTC Vive works with Steam virtual reality. It does require you hooking it up to your computer, but it's got a bunch of cool stuff that I'm going to read to you right now in a minute once I catch up on the computer. The headset's most distinctive feature is something they call room scale VR. It means you can walk around in a 15-foot by 15-foot space while being tracked by 2 laser lighthouses. I don't know what that means. In addition, it's got 2 remote hand controllers. It also has a built-in camera. So if you want, you can see what's going on. With a flick of a switch, you can see what's going on in front of you in the goggles. So if you're in the middle of something and you don't want to take the goggles off, you can see what's going on in front of you because it has that camera built in as well.
See, you can drive your car while wearing virtual reality.
Well, honestly, if you're going to do it that way, that's kind of a good way to do it. And the system can sync with your phone, so if you get a phone call, you can answer it in virtual reality.
Yeah. No, I mean that makes sense. Like, I will say, so I have tried an Oculus before, on 2 occasions, and it's like kind of a process to get it on your head. Like, it's a big thing, and you have to like get it adjusted and fix the straps and stuff. So, like, I can imagine it being pretty annoying to have to take it off if you have to, I don't know, like interact with a person in real life.
Yeah, I'm not as excited. Like I think the augmented reality stuff, such as the HoloLens, is even more niche than the Oculus Rift. Like, I could see you using this for a lot of more industrial applications, whether it's medical or like architectural or construction. You might take a client to a build site, have them put it on. It's like, this is where the garden will be. This is the building that's going up here, and that'd be cool. But how many people are going to want one of these for entertainment or for, and that's what a lot of people buy electronics for, is entertainment. And I think that the full immersion ones are going to be a lot more effective and at this point cheaper. Once you get like the $600 one that just attaches to your gaming console, that's not that expensive.
But that to me is an interesting distinction, and that one I'm very curious about is connected versus standalone. Because they have both, I think, have value. But you look at even the Galaxy, which you just shove your phone in, maybe not as good or as immersive, but you can do it anywhere, and you can move while you're doing it. Maybe you shouldn't because you might bump into something, but you get the idea.
Or someone will write on your face.
Or someone will write on your face. So I'm curious about how many of these we will see, like the HoloLens, that have a processor and actually run on their own, and if there's a market for that.
I think with like augmented, it's kind of necessary, right? Because it's not like
you're moving.
Right. That's the trade-off. It's like it's not totally immersive, but it's not totally immersive, so you can like move around and like still be in the real world.
Yeah. But that's I think where the price argument comes in, right? Because you say HoloLens is $3,000. That's so expensive. But if you're going to spend $800 on the Vive and another $1,500 on a gaming PC powerful enough to use it, you're not that far off. So,
well, HoloLens is also a dev kit, right? So it's not technically like
a
consumer grade software. There are perhaps some economies of scale to be leveraged there.
If you're like me and don't know anything about technology, I would not recommend buying the HoloLens. It probably won't work well. That's just my free tip. More free advice. Last point on the Vive, it will be available for $799 in the US. Start shipping on April 5th, although you can pre-order now. Check that out. It works with Steam on your PC. Let's see how we're doing for time this evening. We've got time to do one more quick story. If there's something in here you guys want to get to, we can talk about Microsoft's end to their cross-platform. We can talk about iPad rumors. We can talk about the Nissan Leaf, the FCC's ruling on cable boxes. What's exciting for you guys?
Let's talk about the confusing iPad stuff.
Let's talk about the confusing iPad, or at least I think it's confusing. We'll have to see what you guys think. But we know that there will be an Apple event in March. The rumored date is, I believe, the 21st? It's sometime right around there. Number of things may be announced. We're talking small iPhones. We're talking new Apple Watches. But one thing is a new iPad. So get this. Currently, Apple sells 3 versions of the iPad, right? The iPad mini, which the screen size is 8 inches, right? 7.6 or something like that. The iPad Air, which is a 9.7-inch screen. And the iPad Pro, which is a 12, 13-inch screen, give or take. Three models, right? Now, what if I told you Apple was going to introduce a new iPad model? Okay. 9.7-inch screen. Now, I know what you're thinking. Don't they already have that? You'd kind of be right. It's confusing. The rumor is they're going to take the iPad Pro, which has, by the way, better features in it than the iPad Air. It's got the better speakers. It's got better processor. It's got more RAM. It's got a better screen.
Apple Pencil
support. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. They're going to take that and shrink it down and essentially make an iPad Pro mini. So a small and then hypothetically you'll be able to get I'm doing my John Kasich this evening and talking with my hands like this a lot. If you're watching the video. So you'll be able to get a regular 9.7-inch iPad Air and a 9.7-inch iPad Pro with bonus stuff, assuming it would cost more. That sounds really confusing and unnecessary, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Because then why don't they just put those features in the iPad Air and because I guess it wouldn't be as light, maybe? Or as thin?
Yeah. I mean, then it's not like I'm not sure. It's not clear to me. Um, maybe I don't know. Like I guess they want to have like there have been points in the past where there was like a 13-inch MacBook and a 13-inch MacBook Pro, and we didn't find that particularly weird.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't find this weird.
I mean, I think people found that weird.
Okay, maybe people did. Is that still the case?
No,
I think
but
it is still the case. I'm looking.
No, they have the 15-inch non-Retina MacBook Pro. No, so that was weird when it was a 13-inch aluminum unibody MacBook, and then the 13-inch aluminum unibody MacBook Pro.
Right.
That was dumb.
Yeah. Oh, right, because the MacBook now is the tiny one. I forgot.
Yeah.
I thought it had a different name. So now it's all MacBook Pros. Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, maybe... I don't know. Maybe it is sufficiently more expensive to, like, support the Apple Pencil. Or something like one or more of those things makes it... increases the price such that they want to introduce a new thing at a different price point rather than either compromise on this or jack up the price of the iPad Air. Neither. Think about it that way. I guess it kind of does make sense.
Yeah, and I could see them very easily how they would market it, right? Because you want the regular iPad, you can get a big one or a small one. You want the Pro, you can get a big one or a small one. And it doesn't really matter that the small one and the big one overlap. It's just the fact that you want the Pro with the better stuff and it costs more, or do you want the regular with the less price and it doesn't have as much stuff?
Yeah.
Or
like a more portable Pro or like...
Yeah, I mean, and you can phrase it that way, and I'm sure there's a market for people who want Pro features on a smaller screen. My problem is that Apple's doing this with a lot of their devices because now they're going to supposedly introduce a new, smaller iPhone, another model in the line. They're going to introduce a new model of iPad, another one in the line. Because you have to remember, in addition to the iPad Air 3 and the iPad Mini 3, right, which I think 3 or 4 is what they're on, they're also selling the older version of those models for less, right? So the iPad Air 2 and whatever the old version of the Mini is. If they come out with a new iPad Pro full size, they'll do an old. It'll be the 2, and they'll still sell the 1. At some point, when does this product line become overwhelming? Like I look at iPads, right? I was thinking about buying one before I bought the computer. Instead, put my money there. And I was looking through the models on the Apple website. I understand how this stuff works, and I found it confusing to tell the difference between, because they sell 3 versions of the 9.7-inch iPad, the newest one and 2 old ones. And all I could tell was that they were cheaper, but even I had a trouble telling them apart. So I don't know.
Well, I think some of that confusion may be unique to you as a person who like knows things about
I overthink it.
Hardware. Yeah, well, you know too much. Like for most people, it's like their decision is some function of size and price, right? And so
what's on sale?
Yeah, right. And I don't know. And for them, I feel like they're probably gonna compromise. Like if they got $500 to spend, that's what they got to spend. And they're not thinking about like, oh, this one is like a little faster, or it might like age better or something in the Apple ecosystem as new products are released. That things we're thinking about when we're trying to evaluate iPad choices. I don't think that's normal, or that's the mainstream decision tree.
I think put that way, that makes a lot of sense. And, I guess I just have to accept the fact that that's the case, because I tend to give Samsung a lot of shit for having way too many products. But right. I guess maybe it makes sense to have a lot of products because there's a lot of different consumers.
Do we think they're just going to get rid of the iPad Air and just have the iPad Pro and then whatever crappy iPad they want to sell, or I guess just the iPad Mini, I suppose.
If they aren't raising prices, I say yes. If they can sell it at the price of the what is it, the $499 base price, then I think they would do that. But I think Colby's right that if they can get more margin and sell it as an in between where I want to spend more than an iPad Air, but I don't want to go all the way to the full Pro. There is a sweet spot there because that Pro gets really expensive. So if they can fit in that sweet spot, I think they would do it. I think there's money to be made.
Yeah. I mean, I think some people would definitely be interested in, stuff like the Pencil too, but just like can't afford the giant one because it's giant and unaffordable.
Yeah. It'll be interesting, but we'll have full coverage of that event here on the show later in March. So you're going to want to join us. Some of our best episodes have been Apple event coverage. So I think that's a good idea. All right, we are out of time for stories. Before we get to picks, I've just decided, I am the decider, and I will decide that Sin Unlimited, who has been our #1 chat person in the chat room on Twitch this evening, thank you for interacting with us. We're going to send you a prize. How is that? Sin Unlimited,
Whoa!
Email me, don'tpanicshow@gmail.com. I do not know what we're going to send you yet. Maybe a mug or a t-shirt or a poster or a magnet. I have no idea what. Basically whatever comes up on sale on the custom stuff website. But we're going to send you something with our logo on it if you're interested. Don'tpanicshow@gmail.com. And you might be a winner too if you join us in the chat room live Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/don'tpanicshow. With that, let's get on to picks, gentlemen. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Yes. All right. What do you got, Colby?
I was gonna pick something else, but I remembered I saw this today. They released a new version of the Raspberry Pi. It's the which is that tiny like computer that looks like it's basically like a motherboard with a bunch of stuff on it, and you can run. It's like a computer, a fully functioning computer. And so they released a new one. It's the same price. Has a faster 64-bit quad-core processor, but most notably, which I thought was coolest, especially cool, is that it has wireless and Bluetooth built in now. So before you used to have to figure out something like you have to get like a little USB like Wi-Fi dongle or something if you wanted to wirelessly connect to it, but now it's built in. So I thought that was pretty awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, and it's the same price. They're on sale now. You could buy one.
$35. Pick it up now.
It's amazing how far that's come in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
It's a cool
I
project.
got my old one kicking right over here. I'm Model A or whatever they're calling it. My Raspberry Pi OG.
I have mine too. I don't know. I'm not doing anything with it right now, but I should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a lot of cool as someone who doesn't know stuff about this, I think this is I wish I did know stuff so I could do this because this is
You could know stuff about it.
I could know stuff about things.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I'm the social media guy, Dan. I just build marketing strategies. I don't know anything about this. Check it out now, raspberrypi.org for more. Excellent. I'll jump in. We'll go out of order, and Dan can take us home.
Okay.
Guys, were you big fans of Jon Stewart?
Yeah.
Okay. Do me a favor. I'm going to ask that question again. I want you both to say an emphatic yes, okay?
Okay.
Guys, were you both fans of Jon Stewart?
Oh my God, yeah. I saw it like every day or whenever it was on. Was it on daily? I don't even. It felt like it was on. It could have been on
show
more.
that was daily. Yes.
Yeah.
Colby, I'm a little disappointed. You could have done better.
I mean, I just didn't. Jon Stewart was at the wrong time for me. I just didn't watch it. Like, I enjoyed it when I did watch it, but it wasn't something I watched on the regular.
Well, the beauty is you can now start because Jon Stewart is gone. We're all sad about that. But if you liked his style of takedown, which is one of my favorite things he did, right, where he would get the video clips and the articles and with humor take on a serious subject and make you think and make you smarter about it. That's what I loved about what he did. Well, he has more than one spiritual successor. So I'm going to give you guys 3 YouTube channels you should go subscribe to right now. You don't even have to watch the shows on TV because they post the full-length stuff on YouTube, which is awesome.
Which is amazing.
It really is, and it's high quality. It's like watching it on TV. I never watch these shows. I only see the clips. But I'm going to give you 3, okay? First, Last Week Tonight with John Oliver on HBO. You can watch the show if you have HBO. If you don't have HBO, they put it up on YouTube. He just did a fantastic takedown of Donald Trump this past on Sunday, including my new favorite browser extension. I don't want to spoil his whole bit, but part of the conclusion is that Donald Trump's family name, they changed it at one point. It was originally Drumpf. 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 And his whole joke is, well, I don't want to explain the whole joke, but he has a browser extension, make Donald Drumpf again, which replaces Trump in every word in your browser with Drumpf. It's very funny. I recommend it. And it was a good bit. So you should go subscribe. Last Week Tonight with John Oliver. 2, Full Frontal with Samantha Bee. Now, you may remember Samantha Bee as a correspondent on The Daily Show. She has a new show on TBS, like John Oliver, once a week. This past week, she did a great 2-part series on Syrian refugees. She went to Syria to talk to them, and with a lot of humor, really showed you the human side of this tragedy and these people who genuinely want to come to America to genuinely have a better life. So, subscribe to Full Frontal with Samantha Bee on YouTube. Lastly, Late Night with Seth Meyers. Now, a little different, but he does these things called A Closer Look, which are, again, a very similar style, and he's done a number of really great ones that, again, have humor to explain serious issues. I recommend you subscribe as well. So, Last Week Tonight, Full Frontal with Samantha Bee, and Late Night with Seth Meyers. 3, what I think are excellent programs, and all the videos are full-length on YouTube, so definitely worth your watching.
Cool.
And those are my picks this week. Dan, you've got something a little more fictional for us. What is this?
Yes, I do. We talked about this a little bit last week. Back when I was sick, I also watched Mr. Robot, which you said you also watched, Colby?
I did, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So Mr. Robot is it's a TV show, hour-long episodes, long format sort of drama thing, a little bit of like a crime thriller sort of thing going on. It follows a computer security professional by day, hacktivist by night sort of guy. Maybe not hacktivist, but like vigilante, like hacker vigilante sort of guy who, like, you know, finds out when people are cheating on their spouse and then tells the spouse and stuff like that. And then he gets caught up in this whole crazy conspiracy. It's really, really good. The acting by the main guy is phenomenal. Technically, like, the stuff they talk about them doing with computers is accurate, and for the first time almost ever, extremely accurate. So that satisfied my inner nerd a lot, and it was good. It was a good way for me to pass a Saturday where I otherwise didn't want to move. So check out Mr. Robot. It's on USA. So I think they have an app. It's also on iTunes. That's how I got it. Probably also on Amazon. Not streaming yet, as far as I know.
No, not that I could see. Neat. I've heard very good things. It's definitely on my list.
Sweet.
To check out. It's funny. I'm trying to cut back. I have a bad habit of, like, all the subscription things we talk about on the show. I always subscribe to try them and then forget to cancel. And so I end up with all of these charges each month. So I went through and I started canceling all of them, and one of them was HBO, which I haven't really watched. So I said I'm going to cancel it, and then if I change my mind, I can always put it back on. But then I was like, well, but I already paid for this month, so I canceled it, but I have it. Oh my God, I've been watching like so much HBO. It's crazy. You know, it's always
you
how
just
it
needed
happens.
to be reminded
I
it was
needed a
there.
reason where it's like, oh, it turns out there's all this good stuff on HBO. Who knew? I feel like a fool.
I feel like HBO has a lot of good movies. Like, they refresh pretty frequently, and they're like, I don't know, they seem to get things like much closer to when they were in theaters than Netflix or Hulu do.
Absolutely.
And not just like some, there are some movies that pop up on Netflix almost immediately, and those movies were terrible. But like HBO actually gets kind of like good movies, like movies you might want to watch. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I can't not have HBO because I can't not have Comcast, and I can't not have internet without cable.
Yeah, no, and it makes sense in a lot in your situation and in a lot of them. And honestly, I as soon as because was it April? I think Silicon Valley starts back up. I'm gonna end up just buying it anyway. I think Veep's starting back up, which I really enjoy. So
there's still time to catch up on Game of Thrones, Sean.
In the same way, you'll probably never watch The Revenant. I'm probably never gonna get around to watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I'll watch The Revenant eventually. I'll watch The Revenant when it's on HBO.
There you go. That would be a good one. I was afraid you were going to say with TNT, on TNT with like 80 commercial interruptions. The worst way to watch a movie.
Please, no. Yeah.
Edited for time, edited for content. I guess that movie is rather vulgar and aggressive. I don't think that would ever make it on cable, really, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd be very surprised. All right, that is it. We're out of time. We've done it again.
Alrighty.
On this leap day. I didn't look at the calendar, but I think this will very likely be the only leap day show we ever do. Because I think the next time there will be assuming we don't change the day, a Monday leap day could be 100 years from now. I don't know.
That's true.
But I think this was a very special edition.
I agree. I forgot about it. All day I've forgotten that it's a weird day. But I don't know, man. Real life is for March.
Hang on, we can answer this. Oh, it doesn't go out that far. Well, it would be at least 2020. No, 20s. Yeah, it would be at least 2024.
Oh, we'll still be in here then.
Yeah, but at least I don't know.
Celebrating our 10th year on the air.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and by the way,
oh my god.
Yeah, we'll be.
We should just. Even if Don't Panic is no longer a thing in 2024, we should do a special return to Don't Panic episode.
Just for that. Just every leap day, every 4 years, we'll just do one.
Yep.
It'll be our day. And Colby, by the way, you reminded me, everyone should go watch the 30 Rock Leap Day episode. Yep. That's a great one.
It's a weird one, but a good one. Yep.
All right.
I might go watch that right now.
It's a classic. All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. We talked like 8 times during the show about where you can find us. Don'tPanic.io. Go there and check us out at Don't Panic Show on Twitter. We'll be back next week with even more tech news. On behalf of Colby and Dan, I'm Sean, and I thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time for even more Don't Panic.